The following program was paid for by Southern American Media.
Fox 30 welcomes you to Meridian's favorite TV personalities and three-time CMA nominees for Broadcast Personality of the Year. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Debbie.
And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie, as Odie ain't got no green on, y'all.
I got some green there. I got some green britches.
Okay, I was making sure. I didn't want to have to reach over and pinch you.
Yeah.
Everybody dress appropriately. It is St. Patty's Day.
And be careful with your pinch. Just because they don't have green on, this is not a free day to get away with a pinch.
Well, you know, things have changed. Can you still pinch, or is that considered crossing the lines these days? Anybody know?
I would go with crossing the line these days. Don't do that.
You get in trouble for pinching somebody. Y'all be careful out there. Now, there's many headlines that we're going to discuss today of what happened overnight, but I thought we would start with one. One of the most important things going on in the state of Mississippi has been settled, Odie.
Well, it's about time because now we can get on with trying to bring industry here.
Right.
And try and get stuff settled. So now that we got this on the back burner, we're in good shape.
Folks, Taterbug has gone ahead and signed it into law. We now have a new state fruit, and I am so glad that we've determined what it is.
Now these industries can say, okay, now that that's settled, we'll know where we stand, and we can come in and start building our businesses. And
yeah, that was coming right after we changed the flag. But now we've got blueberry as the state fruit.
Well, that strawberry farm's not going to do good, so now they need to change over to blueberry.
Does every state have this? I honestly, and I joke about this because I didn't know that was like an important factor to have.
I think you got a bird and
the mockingbird is the state bird.
Oh, I thought it was the mosquito.
No, that's the rattlesnake.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. The mosquito was going to go on the new state flag to bring.
Ooh, he was there.
I voted for
Land's getting harder to buy every day. There's so many people trying to buy up here and bring in these big factories.
Yeah.
That's what politicians tell you. In the real world, it doesn't work that way. We thought we'd break it to you gently this morning as to what's going on. But truthfully, Mississippi has named the blueberry as the official fruit of the state.
Well,
it's low in fat and sodium, it says.
Well, yeah, you get tired of eating it.
My wife's got like 4 or 5 of them, and she's always filling up the freezer, and it gets in the way, and she never does anything with them.
Then they frostbite, you throw them out.
That's what goes on. Another thing that a lot of people have been worried about is who are you going to choose before we get into the big local stories of who are you going to choose as your candidate for president. Now, we both know that Joe is probably going to run.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good chance that Trump is going to run, and maybe DeSantis. But here's your next choice that he's announced it from behind bars that he's going to be running. Joe, the exotic guy. Joe the Exotic, is that what he goes by?
Tiger Joe.
Tiger King Joe.
Tiger King, that's it.
Yeah, he's officially announcing his bid for presidency from jail.
Well, I mean, look what we already got in there.
Yeah, buddy.
Ought to be in jail.
Ought to be. That's true.
Well, at least he's going to get out before he runs.
But I thought y'all might want to know that before we got into the hardcore news of what's going on in and around the area today.
Well, if you have tigers, do you need Secret Service?
That's a good point. A real good point.
He could save us some money.
And if you don't remember what he looked like, here's a quick look here of Joe the Exotic there. There you go.
I'm your president. And I've got a tiger.
Did this guy really, I know he's in jail, but do y'all feel like he really, really did the thing to where he took out a hitman on that, what he got arrested for?
I don't
Or was he
so.
framed, as he claims?
Yeah. I don't think, I know for a fact, he hated Carol. I think that's what her name is.
Yeah, she's the one that come up missing.
Yeah. Well, no, it was her, her first husband came up missing.
Wrong row.
I can't remember. I think he got it. She's got tigers, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they hated each other, but I don't think he did anything.
Hey, MDOT is reminding politicians of a little something. I saw this a minute ago and thought I'd pass this along because I guess they're expensive.
Oh, yeah,
in case you're doing that. But
real expensive.
It says it's illegal to put these out on the right-of-way. Anybody know how many feet the right-of-way is?
It differs in some places. In some places, it's like 60 feet. But rule of thumb, if you get on the opposite side of a power pole.
Wait a minute. Special guest has a comment.
Uh-oh.
I think it's 50 feet from the center line, but a county road and a state road is different.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, we're getting there. So y'all watch that if you're out putting political signs. I'm starting to see those go up around.
More and more, yeah.
As it gets warmer, it's going to be plenty of them, and you'll be weed eating around them.
That was the only bad thing.
It is a lot of weed eating with that goes on, so keep it in mind. Now, as we start with some of the more local news of things that went on last night, we're going to show you a video here in just a second. I had come back, and I was really wanting a cup of coffee about 8 o'clock last night, and it was everything I could do not to go fix a cup. So I got me a glass of water, and I fought it off. And then that's when all the calls started coming in. What's going on in Newton? I hear gunshots. I heard 35 gunshots or around that. And that's a lot. Come to find out, someone was struck and hit last night as we go to this of what went on in Newton last night. 2 arrests have been made. We don't have the final details of what happened, but we do know that this was the scene of what was going on in Newton as officers pulled a car over. Boy, listen to them crickets. A car was stopped. 2 suspects were taken into custody from the shooting here at Burt, and this is also going to be Burt and Oak Street in Newton. And again, it was a lot of gunfires. You go back and look at that. As you can see, that's Oak and Burt right there.
Well,
Right.
you know, this is it, even if they didn't hit anything, they were out shooting, and that's what it's going to take. Pull these people over, charge them, take them in for unnecessarily firing. It's not unnecessarily, but firing a weapon in a dangerous manner, and that's what's going to stop curing some of this stuff. Is if you take them in, charge them, and make them pay for their crimes.
Now, it's under my understanding, and I don't have many details, that the person that was hit was flown for medical care elsewhere. We don't know the condition or what kind of shape they're in, but all of that went on. It was a busy night in Newton, and thank heavens that someone was stopped. We do hope. We don't know if they're actually charged. We'll get all of that. I know that they were taken into custody. There's a difference in between taken into custody and formally charged, and we'll hopefully find out all of that information today. And it was several places around town last night in Newton where bullets rang out. If you live in Newton and are watching this morning, you know exactly what we're talking about. It's a small town. You can hear from one end to the other when something goes off. If you're standing there where McDonald's is, you can hear what's happening downtown.
Yeah.
Over at Lazy Boy. We know that. There's areas of Meridian that you can hear all of that. So that was some of the big news there. I even got reports, I'm not 100% sure, but over on Cherry Street that a home may have been struck with lead. And I didn't get a confirmation on it, but I did get word that it was shots fired in that area too. So if you live in there, we'd love to hear from you on that and find out what you know on that. Boy, as spring comes along, and we're going to be talking about this in just a moment, as we've got a lot more local news, but we also want to bring up things that are happening. We have severe weather to the south of Meridian today.
Yeah, we were lucky that we wasn't in the heat of this, but not saying that we still can't get anything.
Here's the line of what we're looking at. Wayne County, here's Meridian here, Philadelphia, Newton, all this, just some showers today. As you get into Wayne County around Waynesboro, it moves to a level 1. As you get to Hattiesburg, right outside of Laurel, this will move into a level 2 category, and this will cover the entire coast, all the way down here from Iberia, here down in Louisiana, all the way over here to Panama City. In these areas, a level 2 storms today. Brings about tornadic activity. We're going to find out more. Greg is in the house to tell us what to do to get prepared as the springtime storm season comes in. We'll do that next, right here. Good morning. Mr. Green Jeans over here.
Sip and Savor is back in downtown Meridian. Chef Jimmy Kennedy will headline this year's festival, bringing an outdoorsman spin on elevated Southern cuisine. Taking the main stage is country music artist Levi Hammond. Sample over 50 chefs and distilleries visiting from all over the South to showcase their award-winning dishes. Experience the culinary tradition of the South like you never have before.
Are you looking for a trustworthy place to buy your next car or truck? Visit my friends at Massey Supermart Auto Sales. They've been doing business since 1955. There's a reason they've been in business for so long. They have fair prices, superior service, and repeat customers. For your next quality pre-owned vehicle, it's Massey Supermart Auto Sales. Taking care of your car needs at 1023 Highway 39 North.
Profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
And welcome back, Scotty Ray and Odie, as we begin this day. Our special guest, Greg Chatham, joins us in the studio this morning as we bring up severe weather. Now, you're a weather junkie like I am.
Oh, yeah.
And it is always fun to watch. It's just amazing God's work, what goes on.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's talk about this. When does this season begin, or has it already began?
Well, we used to say when the seasons change, March and April was our tornado months. But and I know people get tired of hearing me say, back when I was a kid, or it seemed like that. Well, you'd hear of a tornado every year or 2 or 3 years. But now it seems like that we could have tornado 12 months out of the year.
There's
honestly,
been a lot of talk that what used to be Tornado Alley has moved to Mississippi.
That's right.
And I'm not so sure that they're not right on all of this.
And if you look at the history of it and you watch some of the previous paths of tornadoes, it's ironic that they seem to take the same path.
Well, let's talk about Clarkdale.
Yes.
Is that not been a place that just consistently?
That's right. If you ever hear, I think, Lewin and Rose Hill, it's coming towards Clarkdale.
Yeah,
Bassett City. I mean, when it comes across that way, we go ahead and just get ready.
And let me ask this, because y'all are in that area a lot more than me. Is the baseball field back together yet?
Baseball is, softball's
not.
Softball's
not.
being played at Galleon Park on Valley Road.
I knew something was a little different there.
Right.
Wow.
It tore half of it out, that first tornado.
Right.
FEMA came down. We went out there with them, and they took their notes, and they said, okay, we've got this. And that night, we got another tornado again, and FEMA calls me the next day and says, is there anything hurt? And I said, well, that ball field you went to yesterday? They said, yeah. I said, half of it that was standing? They said, yeah. I said, that's half gone.
Whoa.
Well, they say we need some addresses. I said, well, you can just go back to those you were at yesterday.
And it would be the same thing.
It was. It just went the same path.
All right, Greg, because you deal with this on a daily basis, you deal with the public, people panic over weather. What do you do? And let's just be honest about this. The alarm goes off that a tornado warning has been issued. What should you do as common Joe out there when you hear this?
First of all, you should have already prepared. When the alarm goes off, you should already know what you're going to do. That's not the time to, where's my safe space? You need to figure that out well in advance. You need to decide, have we got an interior room? Do we have a storm pit? Do we have a basement? Where's my kids? Where's my animals?
What about the myth of staying away from windows? Do you do that?
I agree with that, because you're going to have more debris flying. Get in the center of the home. If you're in a mobile home, if you have somewhere else to go. But again, now, if you wait till it's on you, it's too late to go somewhere.
You can't, and it's not, being in a car is not any better, is it?
The professionals say it's not, but the old redneck in me's always said, well, if all I got to do is move 500 feet and I'll be away
I got to run it.
But no, they do. They don't recommend being in a car or whatever. But, you need to have a plan. And also, you need to have a plan. Talk to your children. Talk to whoever's in your home. This is what's going to happen, and this is where we're going to meet. This is what we need to have a spot. Same way, and I'll touch on this, something different, but like a house fire.
Okay.
You need to have a place. If your kid's 3, 4, 5 years old, tell them. And have fun with it. Don't scare them, but just let them know, hey, if something bad happens, we're going to this tree in the yard, or we're going to behind the shed to meet afterwards. Because more people get hurt out looking for somebody that may not even be lost.
Yeah.
Especially, and I say that, I know we're talking about tornadoes, but same way in a house fire, you need to have a like playing chase as a kid, you need to have base.
Yeah, that's a good way to word that.
Where you can find each other and everybody can get back together.
Let me ask this, and you may not know this just from the hip here, because it just popped in my mind. Either one of you can answer if you know. Typically, in a year's time, from 12-month period, how many tornadoes is Lauderdale County affected with? Do you have a number?
No, it's so different because, and I think Odie will say, one year you're liable to not have any, or one or two. And then, like last year, the last 2 years have been really off the charts.
They have been.
And it's not something, like I say, it's not March and April. You know, we had, tornado December, November, we had tornado warnings. I mean, it seems it can happen at any time.
Now, a couple of years ago, we had, in 1 month, we had 6.
Right.
You know, anywhere from EF1 to EF3, but 6 in 1 month.
And weather is, and especially here, Jasper County, as you look at Scott County, Neshoba, Newton, weather is really important to our area. And we always say, well, have a weather plan. When we say that, know where you're going to go in advance of way before the weather gets there. And I've talked about this, of wearing hard-sole shoes, because y'all have been in this where debris is everywhere.
Nails and glass and, I mean, everything.
Go to sleep with your shoes on when it's that bad. And like you said, you've got to have something to protect your noggin.
Yeah, and I know you look goofy wearing a football helmet, but
you remember the old commercial where the lady's sitting in a wheelchair because she had a wreck, and the nurse went up and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, let me straighten your dress out," and it went back to where she was in a car and she didn't wear a seatbelt because it made her dress wrinkle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I missed that one.
You may be goofy looking with a helmet on.
Right.
But at least you'll be out looking around the next day.
No, that's right.
So, yeah, you might look goofy, but I'd rather look goofy today and be alive tomorrow.
Now,
a lot of times, it like he's talking about, people, they get complacent. You know, all we do with Lima, we don't predict the weather. We pass along the best information that we've got. And it is this, you know, they're predicting. It's no guarantee. Well, we got all ready last time and we didn't, and nothing happened. I hope you get ready every time and nothing happens. But it's just that, you know, you're guessing the weather, kind of like practicing medicine and forecasting the weather. I mean, you do the best you can, but it is what it is. It may not, and I hope it don't happen.
And if you're watching this, these two guys here, they do this nearly every day. How many times have you rolled up to a scene and people are left with absolutely nothing to their name, whether it be fire, whether it be a tornado?
More than not.
Yes. And the little things, people say, why are you out there looking? If you can find them a family photo, the tornadoes that hit our area in zero in, what was it, March of 92, 91?
That's when, was that when we lost those 11 people?
Yes. I mean, I can remember, you know, picking up change for a man and putting it in a jug. They had, when you hit the nail on the head, they had nothing. I mean, they had the clothes that they were wearing, and some of them had nothing. And that is sad, sad, sad.
Do we need to stress when there's bad weather, go ahead and overnight dressing for the occasion to where you don't have a thin nightgown, that's all you got. I jokingly say it, but should you wear your clothes to bed if it's going to be bad?
I had a neighbor, and I lived down on Spring Hill Road, and he told me, I'll never forget, after the tornadoes, I said, well, you know, where was you at? They lost everything. They were in a mobile home, and I mean, it looked like a band stage. There was nothing left. And when I seen him, I said, Mr. Larry, you okay? He said, only thing I got out of this is I'll never sleep naked again. I think he woke up 3 houses down in a neighbor's backyard. So, take it as it may. Yeah, we're cutting up, having a laugh, and talking.
But that's true.
But you know, and like you talking about shoes. I mean, there's going to be glass, there's going to be nails, there's going to be stuff everywhere. So,
and again, as we come out of March, and this could start churning up toward the end of March, April, even May is real big here, and then we get into that nasty stuff in June of the stuff coming in from the coast.
Yep. Yeah, and that's never ending. And all right, 2 weeks out, we've got a tornado that's going to hit here Tuesday. Well, we may know that part, but where is it going to hit Tuesday? Because it's going to be somewhere in the Gulf. Well, that doesn't help.
Yeah.
You know, and you want it to be on the east side of us. You don't want it to be on the west side of us. So there's a lot of factors that go along with it. Tornadoes around here, majority are at night while we're asleep. and we have a huge population of mobile homes.
Yeah, it's part of our culture here.
And that's our biggest issue around here. Mobile home don't. That's not saying that that's going to be destroyed and a brick home won't.
Yeah, he gets them too.
Because I've seen where a mobile home is left standing and a brick home is.
And we got several advertisers. If you do not have a storm shelter to go to, several that sell those, and they save lives.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And again, what we were talking about earlier, don't wait. If you know it's coming, I would rather you go out there every day and sit in there than to get blown away. A lot of times, and we've had cases, people have a storm shelter, but they didn't go. Well, I didn't think it was going to be that bad. It's too late when it's on you to do. Like Odie said, a hurricane, 2 or 3 weeks in advance. Hey, the hurricane's coming. Tornado, you don't know. I mean, you'll have a bit of ball game, and in 10 minutes, you got a tornado.
I've often said this, I take weather very serious. It's one of the reasons of where I am today. But always watch radars, because as we look at over at Jackson, we've got that tower that's in the way. Could there be a smidgen of a 2 or 3 second or 60-second delay from what Jackson sends out? It could. It may not be. But if I mention this road that's within a half a mile of your home, consider it at your house.
Yes. Yes, because you're looking at about a 4-minute delay, I believe is what they say is the worst part. Because that radar is sending these pings out. And then that information's coming back to the radar. And that radar deciphers what it's getting and sends it to the computer. Then that computer sends it out over the network.
Right.
So it also depends on how fast is your network. Now with EMEPA coming along and you've got the high-speed Comcast, you've got some good service. But before that, if you were on dial-up or something like that, you may had to add another 7,
I remember
8 minutes.
Back in the day, it was 15 minutes. Whatever you got was 15 minutes. It's a lot faster now.
Yeah.
Somebody said that Buck Roberts' house got blown away in '92.
Yes.
I'd forgotten about that.
I remember it was spring break because we were out of, kids were out of school for spring break. And I was working with the Forestry Commission because we had to respond. We had people from all over the state come. And it was so sad because you don't know where to start.
Yeah.
Where do you start? I mean, you can't tell one person's house from the other person's
It's all
house.
just mixed up.
I'm telling you, that's one of the saddest things I believe I've ever seen.
If I am not mistaken, it was 92 in Wahalak, Mississippi, just north of here, north of Scuba. There was a death there on Wahalak Road, if I remember. A house caved in on a lady, and she lost her life. That's been some few years ago.
We had a couple of years ago, it's about 4 or 5 years ago maybe, had a tornado come through Tumsuba. And lady was in the bathroom. She was in her little safe place. And the tornado came, hit the mobile home, flipped the mobile home. She fell out the window. The mobile home took a couple more turns, fell slap apart, and she's sitting in the yard, and she had a little scratch on her arm.
Miracles happen every day.
Miracles happen every day.
Right.
Lonnie said that he was in a tornado, lost everything but his life. It's always a miracle there. We're going to talk some more about tornadoes this morning and how to be prepared for that. But boy, yesterday did y'all come along on Highway 19. Very serious situation. Let's go to this and show a few of the pictures of what happened yesterday afternoon as we go here. We showed up. This is the intersection of Highway 19 and North Hill Street. Here's one of the cars that was involved as we move forward. A Camaro that's not going to be used anymore, I'm afraid. That was hurt pretty bad there. Front end damage there. MPD on the scene, of course, as we come across this. Here's a bigger view of the intersection there.
Oh, wow.
There's a car right here behind, and I think I've got a picture of it, behind the fire truck. Donnie and the gang here.
Was that a propane truck?
Propane truck. And this one,
we've had enough of these.
Yeah, 2 days in a row.
that car being pulled up on this. And I've got some more pictures. Here's the Meridian Fire Department on scene helping all they can with the situation also. And let's see here. I think I guess I didn't. Here's the other car there, and I thought I had a better picture of it. I know I do somewhere. For some reason, it's not mixed in with these. There it is right there. But this was a 3-car collision there at the red light. Now, we're still waiting on information, but early reports were that someone may have taken something from a store and they were being pursued. We can't 100% say that yet, but we do know that a car ran that red light and did all of that damage. Metro was on scene. We don't know the condition of anyone, but boy, traffic stopped from that red light all the way past MCC up to where McDonald's was yesterday, and it was one of those things of take Old 8th Street Road, go around this if you're going to Collinsville.
You don't realize how many cars go through those intersections until you stop one of them up.
Ooh. That was a very serious accident. Y'all think about that. It reminds me of the one that happened on Highway 39 North Hills intersection, to where a guy ran through it and the people crossing it had no idea it was coming. And I'm sure it was the same situation there. So I don't think there was any serious injuries, but you never know.
Well, that's why you try and teach your kids, and because there's a lot of them out there that don't know this, and why they don't teach us anymore. When I say they don't, because they can't, because nobody does it. But while you're driving, and I know both of y'all were taught this, mirror, mirror, mirror. I mean, you've got to scan. You've got to see what's going on. You got to know the position of every car behind you. When you're going to an intersection, you don't look one car ahead.
Or look at their light. Oh, I got a green light. I'm right. Well, you can be dead right.
You
better
correct.
Look both ways, even if you do have the green light.
And that's sitting there at the stop sign before you take off.
You better be looking.
Because people well, they're human. They make mistakes, and they'll blow through one, think they can beat that yellow light, and next thing you know, you're on the Scotty Ray Report.
And most people have no clue how a four-way stop is supposed to work. And I would love to just get out and scream at people. It's first come, first serve. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
They have no idea how a four-way stop works.
Thankfully, there's still a lot of people, when there's confusion, will do the motions, the hand gesture. But there's some that, they got up on the wrong side of the bed that day, and they're going to be rude.
Well, a lot of them have hand gestures, but they're not proper.
The California howdy.
That's right.
And they don't make eye contact.
I will never forget that from the hillbillies as they were rolling into town. It's the California howdy. And they just giving everybody the how do.
The main thing is be careful, because like I say, even if you got a green light, look both ways. Mm-hmm. I mean, it only takes just a second.
Everything.
Some of our guys that are in the volunteer fire department last night didn't get much sleep as we go right across the reservoir. Let's pull this up to take a look. A structure fire at a shop caught fire last night right there as you get ready to cross the bridge coming into there. I know that Bailey responded. Our friends over in Martin, and I want to say even Collinsville responded to that. That was a several-hour stomp-it-out type thing. No one was injured, from what I understand, but someone has no shop today.
And that's why these people need help, because now just about every one of these guys who got up in the middle of the night to go help this out and put this fire out now had to go back, put the truck in service, and now go home, take a shower, get dressed, and go to work for the rest of the day.
Yeah, and we've talked about this with volunteers. They even need folks. Say that you can't go fight a fire, that you're not physically. But, hey, you could work at the fire station helping put things back in the truck.
Put the water back in the truck, help roll the hoses up.
Yeah.
Just driving the truck.
That's right. That's right. There's something for everybody to do.
Hey, I wanted to bring this up. I was driving down the street yesterday, and I was passing City Hall, and I looked over. There's a bunch of guys working there, and they're redoing all the sidewalks there. They're going to put in some new lamp posts to make it lit well. And I stopped and talked to them. They're doing a great job. Great bunch of guys. I just wanted to say good morning to them for the job they were doing. They're pouring the concrete here, and most of those guys watched. They were extremely nice. I just want to say a good morning and a great job that you're doing. They were working hard, and we do appreciate that with Meridian Public Works. Takes a lot that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't realize what these guys do on a day-to-day basis. So, thumbs up. Yeah. We appreciate what you do there.
And they're the same way with us. They may get called out at all times to go do some cleanup or fix.
Something's leaking. Something's broke. Somebody hit
a light pole.
Exactly.
And somebody's got to get down in the mud hole.
That's right.
Which teaches you don't wear your good jeans to work. Because if you do, they're going to get messed up.
Not only that, don't judge people by the way they look today, because you don't know what they went through last night.
You're absolutely. That's great advice.
Me and Odie sat at the Waffle House before at 4 o'clock in the morning, wondering, should you go on home and go to bed, or should we just go on to the office? Because you've been on the interstate for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
And we ain't pretty on our best day, but I mean.
You mix that in, it makes it a little bit worse.
Yeah,
That's right.
We didn't even have a face for radio that day.
That's right.
7:29. Y'all stay close. We're going to back this day in history. We're going to take a look at a few things that went on, and we got so much more that happened overnight. We're going to discuss all this still to come right here this morning. Mark your calendars for the Spring Extravaganza Show coming Saturday, April the 15th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and conveniently located at the old Office Max building at Bonita Lake Circle. From boutique clothes, shoes and accessories, children's clothing, spring plants, jewelry, gift items. Come shop and have lunch with Jack's Sausage Dogs. The Spring Extravaganza Gift Show coming Saturday, April the 15th from 9 until 4 at the old Office Max building in Meridian. Call Becky at 601-480-1776. If you're an outdoorsman, Garrett's Outfitters is a place to head to in Meridian. They have a complete line of gloves to keep your hands warm in these cold mornings, toboggans to block that wind, and America's favorite Carhartt, from the rugged overalls to slacks and shirts. Work boots and mud boots as well. Browse around the gun accessories and a complete line of just about any gun. Protect your investment, your guns, with one of the many Browning gun safes they have to choose from. For the outdoorsman in your family, it's Garrett's, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 invites you by to take a look at a brand new product they've got. Odes, ATVs, and UTVs. These side-by-sides range from 800 to 1,000 cc's, and they come with heat or air. Whether you're doing work around the farm or hunting, they've got the unit just for you to keep warm or cool, depending upon that Mississippi and Alabama day. Swing by for a test drive today at Freeman Tractor. See coleslaw, buttermilk, and don't forget you can meet their newest employee, Eggplant. That's Freeman Tractor, Highway 494.
Have you been in an auto accident? Call Will Parker. Get the help you deserve. Call Will Parker. Don't settle for less and know your rights. Call Will Parker. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Call your Meridian lawyer, Will Parker.
And welcome back as we start this Friday morning. It is St. Patrick's Day. Wear your green before you head out. Let's talk about a career change. You've heard us talking about this the last few days. And Meridian Community College right here, Highway 19 is where you'll find them. Well, it's the start of a new future for you, and you can get into the respiratory care practitioner.
Yeah, I mean, if you're having problems
Did I say that
sleeping,
right?
sounds good.
Say it 3 times.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
See if it comes out right.
You're right.
You know, snoring. My wife says that I've got a bad problem with snoring.
I
but
think
it
she's
hasn't bothered
fibbing.
me a bit.
None.
And but if you have snoring problems, or you quit breathing at night while you're trying to sleep, or any problems, now these are the people who can take care of you, putting you on the BiPAP, the CPAP.
Testing you overnight to make sure that you sleep well. And it really isn't. A lot of people will like, am I talking about the word for that where you
quit breathing.
Yeah.
Quit breathing? Yeah.
Yeah, to quit breathing. Now, you can learn lots about this. It's a great living. All you got to do is call MCC. They'll get you educated on all of this. Emergency care. You could work in nursing homes with this. There's so many career paths that could change your life. Start a whole new future.
Yeah, right here in Meridian. You don't even have to go nowhere.
Let me give you that telephone number. It's 484-8752 to that particular clinic. Or just call the main office. They'll tell you, go online. All of that's good. As we begin, one thing that we needed to discuss, and let me find this before we get into this day in history, because this is one of those situations, well, no matter where it is, we go to find out the truth. Let's go to the intersection, Macon, Mississippi, Highway 45 North. Oak Tree Inn is to your right. Left, take you downtown. Here's the scene yesterday. As we got pictures, here we go. Folks, there's a boat in the road.
They ain't going to catch nothing there.
And as we look at this, Greg, I'm going to let you tell. What are we missing from this picture?
I would say probably a trailer.
Yes.
Or water. You know, that's what the old guy said. The highway patrol told him that time, said there's no law against pulling a boat, but we do require you to have a trailer.
Macon, Mississippi is where this happened. Yes, we don't know the details of where the trailer went. Popo showed up.
Oh, that's a nice boat, too. That wasn't your average John boat.
I mean, wouldn't you miss it?
Oh, yeah.
I would think. Maybe it fell off the back of an 18-wheeler transporting them. Maybe, I don't know. Didn't tie it down, secured the load.
I just want to know if he dropped the skier back here.
Look in the live well.
Oh, boy. All right,
Yeah,
as we
tough.
turn back the pages of history, let's take a look at what happened. This is so far back, I ain't got enough fingers or toes to count this far back, but it was 461 that it began, St. Patrick's Day. That's when he was born there.
That's been a while.
Downpatrick in Ireland is where it all happened there. Any of y'all do the Irish accents? Can y'all do those? You got one of those?
I got
No, he
some
can't.
kind of accent, but I really don't know who it belongs to.
All right. I was just you
So-
got an Irish accent over there?
Absolutely not.
Isn't there
I
some
talk too slow.
a Southern Irishman?
Now, Odie will wear one of those kilts. I mean, you know.
Odie. Oh, I hope you ain't got one on today because I ain't looking. I am not going to
Had to be
look.
green.
Am I not right that certain cities across the United States, they'll turn the water green today and
Yeah,
like their
Chicago.
bag?
Yeah, the river in Chicago
Yeah.
is green.
1919, this old boy was born, and he would change Christmas songs forever, and you probably still sing one or two of his today.
Yep.
Anybody remember Nat King Cole? Born on this
Went to
day.
one of his concerts.
Did
right.
you? Where was it at?
He and Odie were the same age.
Really? Otis.
Oh man.
Let's see what else happened today. This was like historic. I remember seeing it, and I thought, boy, that's a big, big place. Did cost a lot of money in 1950. I think it was $102,000. Got this old boy a home. It wasn't 50. It was during the 50s, as we all found out that Elvis bought Graceland. And of course, this was a church when Elvis bought this, and he made it into a home. If you didn't know that,
No, I didn't.
I didn't know that.
yeah, Elvis.
Well, happy dog.
Reckon what it's worth today.
Oh, there's no telling. A
Probably
chunk.
made a little money on that investment.
It has. But now the neighborhood is changing also. Make sure that you've got your wheel locks and your car's locked, and take along your. It wouldn't even hurt to put those things on your tires, the locks.
Oh,
The
yeah.
club.
Wheel locks. Yeah.
That may be where that boat trailer is.
It could be. Memphis changed a little bit. I know that, and I'm trying to think of how it starts out, but y'all grew up about the same time I was, and every Friday night, it didn't matter what ball game you were at, you were going to hear the theme to this. As Patrick Duffy has a birthday today, who remembers hearing this?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep. Who shot J.R.?
Do y'all remember when they had these lame writers, and all of a sudden Bobby dies, and they figure out that was a huge mistake and have to back up and go, oh, that was just a dream?
Yeah. We just made that up.
And I mean, all of us can remember when Ray Krabs was having an affair with, what was the blonde girl's name on there?
Lucy?
Lucy. And then 3
Well,
or 4
look
or
at
5
him.
seasons later, we find out that, well, that's his uncle, that he's her uncle. He was the
ranch foreman. But he was a long lost son of Jock.
right, which made that, yeah, we ain't going to go there,
There's
are
some
we?
kudzu in that tree somewhere.
Yes, it was. But they forgot. They wanted you to forget that's how the show started out, with them meeting in the loft for years.
Right.
I'm talking about Jock being mean to him. I did not realize this. Did any of y'all watch Elvis in the movie It Happened at the World's Fair? Did you? Any of y'all
I
watch that
missed
movie?
that.
No.
It's been years since I saw it, but there was a kid about yay high. Elvis is there, and it's a little boy, and he walks up and he kicks Elvis. You got any idea who that kid would be?
Yes, I do, and I don't know why I know.
It's I almost wants
It's
to come
on
back
it,
to it.
yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and bust that bubble. It was Kurt Russell that kicked Elvis, and it happened at the World's Fair.
Yes.
He didn't look anything like he does now. And
No.
I don't care who you are. Overboard is one of the funniest
It
shows.
was funny with Goldie Hawn in
Yeah.
What
All
sweet
them
revenge.
All them mean kids.
it. And he had his buddy here put me in this picture as her husband.
And then having to explain the underwear in the truck. Well, it was mine. He hid it for me. That was good. That was really one of the funniest movies. And I still watch that today. And I don't know if y'all remember, it was our age. You go back to Patrick Swayze. He's played a lot of great movie parts. But one of his first major roles was in North and South. Ori Mannion is who he played, and he had this whole love interest of this girl there. It was meant to be in the skies above. Leslie Ann Downs celebrates her birthday today. She was born back in '54, and that was a great show. It really was.
Yeah.
And great pictures of her. Yeah, absolutely there. Leslie Ann Downs. Dude, that was a good movie. She had a mean husband there. Newton, Mississippi. Are y'all awake? Y'all got somebody this big today having a birthday from the big city of Newton. As we find out, it is Paul Overstreet's birthday. Singer-songwriter. He's really good at what he does. He's written for a lot of people there.
I'm glad they've got a sign up that's honoring him.
Yeah, Paul Overstreet. He's a great guy. like him a whole lot. 1967, the final episode of this would air on television. We all watched it. It was pretty cool.
Well, yeah.
Did you watch this, Greg? It's the Jetsons.
Astro. Oh, yeah.
But I did not realize that show ended in 67. They ran reruns until, I think it was about 88. They made a couple of more years of it, but it wasn't as good as the first. It really wasn't.
Well, Greg thinks that Hogan's Heroes is still playing
I
live.
like my Hogan's Heroes.
That's a good show, isn't it?
I do. I see nothing.
I mean, who doesn't come out from underneath the doghouse?
That's exactly right.
Yeah. I mean, it is a good show.
Oh, it was, and they just outsmarted them all, Clink and the bunch there. It was a great comedy. If you've never watched that one, do so. You're not going to see that on television today, that's for sure. Did you ever drive a Volkswagen? Anybody in the room?
I did. I had one. I had a 72 Beetle.
I drove a wrecker. We moved a lot of Volkswagens.
But for some reason, they were popular.
Absolutely.
And you had
because of that.
Yeah, this is what all it brought right here as we pull this up. Herbie premiered today. The Love Bug, the smartest car there was. Didn't have an engine in the front, but it could open the hood any time it wanted.
That's right.
And then, was it Lindsay Lohan that did the remake?
Yep. And it was pretty good.
It wasn't bad. It's back when she was kind of
before
normal.
she got in all of her trouble. And
Yeah.
when you've got that much money, hire somebody to drive for you.
Your sister says that your daddy used to drive those all the time, those little Volkswagens.
Daddy he would drive them till they fell slap apart, and then he'd go get another one that wasn't much better.
Now, am I right? Marion, Mississippi, wasn't it somebody that's all they worked on? Hassel. That's all he worked on for years.
Joe Sneed off of Old Lake Street Road was big into them. And
Miss Angie Pickett, our Meridian Star carrier, there's no telling how many million miles her and her family put on Volkswagens delivering. That was just everyday thing.
Let's go back to the Scotty Ray made a mistake. Jim Haney says, wait a minute, that was not a church, Graceland was not. He was saying it was a cattle farm. He said that a lot of churches had picnics there on the grounds of Graceland. I thought all these years it was church.
Well, that's a fancy barn.
Yeah, I'll have to dig into that. I really thought that.
Yeah.
Tony Keller says her birthday, Carmen Keller, her daughter had a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Carmen. We do hope it's a big one there for you.
What a wonderful day to have a birthday was yesterday.
All right, let's see here. Oh, shit.
Yep.
1973, and you can't help but sing along. Because back in the day, it was a real big deal to make it to the cover of a magazine. It was so big that a rock group got together and they joked about it. And here it is on the cover of the Rolling Stone. And it only peaked at 6. I thought it was a #1 song.
Well, I didn't know how high it went up. I didn't know if they
let me
made
tell
it
you,
high.
that was good. That was really
a good one.
one of the best that they done. That Dr. Hook.
Have y'all seen the cartoon movie Monsters? Monsters.
Yes, that's pretty good.
And then at the end, Mike, I think is his name. He was like, "I'm on the cover of a magazine," but he's covered up with the skew sticker.
Yeah, it took his face off.
He made it big.
Am I not right that Dr. Hook sang that song "When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman"? Everybody wants her. Everybody needs her.
Ooh.
I know they did. I got a couple more years on you, babe. That's all. But when you're in love with a beautiful woman, y'all know what I'm talking about?
Didn't that cross over to the country chart? And
That might be why I know it.
I think,
Yeah,
I think.
But that was Dr. Hook, wasn't it?
I believe it was.
That was before my time. You'll have to ask Odie.
Now here's a birthday. He'll know. He was around with old Cole, and that's R.W.
Is it R.W. having a birthday?
Yeah, R.W.
Yeah, he's got a
R.W.
birthday
Williams'
today.
Birthday today.
We forgot. I mean, we had the fire department on standby if we had to light the candles for
Well,
him.
it's raining, so we won't have to plow around.
Well, that's true.
1973. What was on the cover of TV Guide? These two, you still like them? They were absolutely funny. Sanford and Son was on the cover of that.
I love it. One of the best sitcoms ever made.
Yes.
You were a big fan of Rollo, wasn't you?
I like Grady and Bubba.
Grady was funny.
And
like
Aunt Esther. Oh, yeah.
You said it wrong. Aunt Esther,
Esther.
as he would say it. She was, and she'd slap that Bible upside his head.
Oh, yeah.
Red
I want
Sanders.
Fish-eyed fool.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
want some of that sham pimple.
Oh, Fred Sanford, my sister.
Oh, man,
It was good. 1984, I never quite understood the song, but it was huge. I know it was. It just really wasn't on the country side of what I'd done. And I listened to it once, and I tried to analyze the song, and all I got out of the song was jump. Go ahead, jump.
That's all you had.
Jump. It went number 1 today.
It's hard for him to jump.
Not my.
Are you right? Do you feel the same way I do on that? It had no meaning.
No.
Not to me, it didn't.
The only thing that'll play his music is satellite radio.
We have the same taste.
Thank you, Scotty Ray.
We do.
Scotty
And
Ray
we appreciate.
rode with us the other day, and I think he liked my channel. Thank you.
Absolutely there.
You can play all my songs backwards, and the guy gets his truck back in his house and his wife and his job and all that. I like old country.
And each one of those songs just had a meaning there.
Thank you.
Sometimes you go back and you listen to it, what you listened to as a kid, and you go, oh, that's what they meant.
That's it.
You've never been this far before.
Right.
Boom, boom, boom.
Something about a horse and a saddle.
Yeah. Hey, I got the horse and she's got the saddle.
That's right.
Little Mel Tillis, if no one knows that. But what great. And speaking of great country music artists, it was 2011 that we lost one of the best that there ever was. That was a great country artist for years. On the wings of a snow white dove, we lost Ferlin Husky.
Ferlin Husky.
He was 85 years old back in 2011.
He looks like Sylvester Stallone in that picture on the right.
He sure does there. Adrian.
Yeah. Adrian!
You can do it. You should have applied for the part. That's
With that kilt on, he would have looked good.
a few things that happened on this day in history. We'll be right back with more things that have gone on locally to keep you informed. The fastest hour on television. Thank y'all for joining us. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Nick Lisi. I am owner of Pinch and Tails Crawfish Shack here in Marion, Mississippi. We are located right across the street from the Subway Sandwich Shop, right next to the Little Griddle. If you're a seafood lover, we have the absolute best seafood in town. We carry crawfish, shrimp, lobster tails, raw oysters, snow crab, corn potato sausage, all the fixins. And for all of your special orders and catering needs, please call 601-934-0598. We're located in downtown Marion.
The Square Peg Mini Mall, located across from the Neshoba County Co-op in Philadelphia, Mississippi, is a family-owned business that promises to treat you like family. The Square Peg Mini Mall has been operating for over 10 years and boasts over 30 vendors with a rotating inventory to fit that something you're looking for. Inventory is constantly updating, so there's always a chance for a surprise when you step inside. Come visit the Square Peg Mini Mall, located on 335 West Main Street in Philadelphia, Mississippi.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
Well, our friends over at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply opened up. They've been open about 15 minutes now. They're taking care of things, getting you ready. They're covering these plants up for the cold weather that is coming in on Monday and Tuesday night. Come by and take a look at all they have to offer there, from ferns, getting you ready for Easter. That's not all that far off either. And if you're noticing, there's blank spots in my yard, and my yard keeps floating away. Get you some grass, some of that good stuff, that centipede and St. Augustine, where you don't have to mow it as much.
That's right.
Really good there. And they have just about anything that you're looking for. If it deals with your house, your farm, they've got it for you there, from horse to cattle feeding, places to sit. Yeah, turkey calls and all. Boots and a whole lot more for your pets as well. See them right there. Horse, cattle, pigs, well, they even take care of your goats. See them there today. Lauderdale County Farm Supply, exit 151, right off the interstate. And welcome back to us as we begin this early Friday morning. The weekend is here, and we do hope it's a good one for you. Let's check a few other things that are going on. Let's see, we had a car fire yesterday out on Knox Road. That happened. They got the car out. Everybody got out of the car safely. That was good. And those will happen more often than you really realize.
The scary part is it's really going to get bad because everybody's going to these batteries.
Yeah.
And you just don't put them out. You don't go up there with water and just put them out. That takes a lot more patience with, and a lot of times you just got to throw it off in a pond and let it burn itself out.
Structure fire yesterday afternoon over in Newton County. As we look at this, we had a fire there on Aaron Lutheran Road there. Everybody's okay. They showed up, but I think a little damage to the home as well. We think about them of losing a few items. Even had a tractor fire up in Kemper County. Nothing worse than your tractor getting on fire. They got that taken care of also. Here's something as we look of businesses that are going away and beyond, and is it the internet causing it, or is it just people no longer want to read? But we go to Jackson, Mississippi. They're going to be closing the Books of Million in Jackson, Mississippi.
Well, I mean, you still have a lot of people that like the physical book. If it was more of a digital book, I think that would have been hurt a long time ago. A digital book came out with like the Nook 20 years ago.
I can see in our special guest face he doesn't agree with you. Greg, what's your thoughts on this subject?
Buy the book.
Buy the book. But that does change. The times are changing. But we don't know what happened there. Was it lack of sales, or was it, crime is a little high? We don't know why they're closing that location.
Well, he's got to have pictures.
Same way with music. I mean, honestly, if I wanted to go buy music nowadays, I'm lost, dude.
I know.
I mean, honestly, I had just got used to the CDs.
And that's gone.
Yeah, now I bought a new truck. It doesn't even have a CD player in it.
So what do you do with your CDs? You've got to have somebody transfer
I put them with my cassettes and my 8-tracks.
They're on the bookshelf.
It's a kit.
We go to Laurel, Mississippi for our next headline this morning. And this is under investigation. A lady was found deceased in the middle of a highway. They're investigating this as possibly a domestic dispute. We're finding out that she was most likely in the car with her spouse. There was an argument. They don't know whether she opened the door or could it be foul play. It's under investigation there in Laurel. It's horrible either way, no matter how you slice that. I don't even know what to say about it. The disappearance of a murder of someone that disappeared in Jackson is now turned into a murder investigation as a 36-year-old mother was found with a gunshot wound. That's some of the things happening across the state this morning as we look at this. And let's jump up to, let me see here, Starkville. An arrest has been made at Starkville, y'all.
Oh.
Embezzling, rump roll.
Is that some of our state people that's...
Yeah, it's a university teacher that's accused. Now, we have to say accused. We don't know that it happened.
Until proven guilty.
That's right. Dr. Gary Packwood was charged with embezzlement. He's how do you pronounce this word? Quarrel activities? So we'll find out more about this from Mississippi State. They're not opening their mouth. They're just saying that arrest has been made. Nothing has been released. But Mississippi State, find out more on that.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with more.
Mike Rice here with Mike Rice Auctions and Wholesale. Auctioneer number 1614 with another awesome estate sale for you guys. We have an estate auction here in Meridian, Mississippi on Highway 19 North. The address is 6141 Highway 19 North. You can go to High Bid right now and check it out at www.mikericeauctions.highbid.com. It's a beautiful estate. Check it out. Bid on. I'm going to tell you, this is probably one of the coolest auctions that we've ever done.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes. And they even do work on motorcycles. With the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
As we go to our friends over at Maple's One Stop Shop, if you need gasoline, folks, that's the place to go. If you want a store that's absolutely clean, great place to have breakfast, they got that. Little biscuits, a little gravy lined up this morning. Woo, don't forget it. Lunchtime is coming as well. They'll have that out at Causeyville in the St. Paul store as well. We come across this, a cold drink. And again, one of the cleanest stores, 6 locations here in town. They're going to be clean. They take pride in what they do. From candy bars to cold drinks, whatever you're looking for, maybe a lottery ticket or two. 6 locations, as we mentioned, around town. Just drop in at one of these and visit with them. You'll be glad you did, and you'll probably bump into a friend or two there.
That's right.
I was trying to. Who was the man?
Robert Duvall.
Robert Duvall.
Yes.
I went blank a moment ago, and Odie has finally remembered.
Well, as soon as I saw his face on here, it was like.
But I was asking the guys if they had ever watched him in a movie that he had called The Apostle. And if you've never watched that, that was an interesting take, a different role for him. He played a preacher in that.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever played that before.
It was really, really good. So if you ever get a chance to glance at that, and again, it's not his typical role, but I enjoyed it. He did a fantastic job with that. Let's see here. We got a couple of minutes here as we begin this day. Let's see what else is going on here. Ooh, let's see here. 15-year-old shot and killed in an apartment complex in Jackson.
Wow.
All too often we read these stories there. It's just nonstop. Gas prices are on the rise. Have y'all been noticing that at the pumps?
Well, it's traveling time, so they saw a reason to jack the prices up to get more money. So here we go.
Just a few short years ago, you could drill it here and save money. So,
isn't that amazing?
It's kind of like self-sufficient.
Yeah, that word. Yeah. Thank you for coming in today, Greg. We appreciate all the insight on tornadic activity.
Hey, I've enjoyed it. It's always a pleasure. I like to come up, defend my good name. I've heard I've been smudged by one of y'all before, but
thank y'all for dropping by this morning. We'll see you bright and early Monday.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: